Pollution.
I was wondering, have you thought about the quantity of waste produced by the industries around NFL and sports or events?
I haven't thought about the waste that the NFL produces in terms of waste. However, I have thought in chemical waste that are produced in other factories. The NFL does produce like 35 tons of waste for each game that happens in a stadium, but I think it's more interesting how the chemicals that come to factories and all of that are wasted.
Pablo is so boring. I wish I could understand what he's saying.
Then not to harm the environment and to harm also the people.
I have never thought about that, Pablo.
It's
Hello, I'm Andres Conscious, and today I'm gonna learn about the type of chemical waste.
Are you ready to learn today, Andre?
Not really. Well,
Hi, I'm also Andres Conscious. Remember me?
Yeah.
Well, did you know there are 4 types of chemical waste?
This is kind of scary. It's like the Fight Club, but with chemical waste. And no, I didn't know it.
yes, Andre, there are 4 types.
2 of those 4 types are the hazardous waste and the non-hazardous waste, Andre.
And also you have the universal and sink and trash waste.
The hazardous waste are the ones that have a great potential to harm people or the environment. Mismanagement of hazardous waste can result in significant environmental penalties. The term hazardous waste should only be used when describing chemicals. Radioactive or infectious materials are not hazardous waste unless they are mixed with some chemicals. An example of hazardous waste would be motor oil, for example, that can be very harmful for the environment. The non-hazardous waste are not as dangerous as the hazardous waste. They are more regulated, but still the non-hazardous waste are not fit for handling as regular trash. Some examples of what non-hazardous wastes are could come from the industrial materials, medical waste, and electronic waste. Those would be some examples of non-hazardous waste because they need to be managed specifically and cannot be thrown to the trash normally. The universal waste exists because they have been deregulated to some extent based on the fact that they are so widespread. Some examples for the universal waste would be mercury and some types of batteries. This is the reason that universal waste are most often generated and managed through facilities. So depending on what type and how many of those things you have, that can be related to universal waste. The last one would be safe for sink and trash disposal. A very small percentage of chemical waste are unregulated and safe to pour into sinks or place in the trash. Some examples would include benign salts like sodium chloride and non-toxic and non-corrosive cleaning chemicals. Those would be safe to put them in the sink or in the trash.
Well, this is getting kind of interesting. I didn't know nothing about that.
Well, would you like to learn more?
Oh, really, Pablo? I don't want.
Oh, where did he go?
Come over here, Andre. Remember, Andre, I'm your conscience. I can do whatever I want.
So well, we will continue to learn about industrial waste. So let's go, Andre. Shut up and continue to learn. Do you know that there's also other types of pollution? We have air pollution here. What else can you say?
Soil pollution, water pollution, and noise pollution.
That is very true, Andre. Those are the 4 main types of pollution. Right now, we're in a high place, so we can see
Everything.
the air pollution that happens in Mexico City and all the chemicals that it brings to us, to our lungs, everything you breathe. You will die probably from lung cancer, but maybe you can last until you see your kids grow to university. Maybe.
Thanks, Conscious.
You're welcome. That's just being realistic.
Let's go with a video of explanation from pollutions.
Soil pollution, water pollution, and air pollution are all types of environmental pollution that can have harmful effects on human health and the environment. Soil pollution occurs when the soil is contaminated with harmful substances such as heavy metals, pesticides, or chemicals. Some ways to treat soil pollution include phytoremediation, bioremediation, and excavation and disposal of contaminated soil. Water pollution occurs when harmful substances such as chemicals, waste, or microorganisms are introduced into bodies of water such as rivers, lakes, or oceans. Some ways to treat water pollution include physical methods such as sedimentation and filtration, chemical methods such as chlorination and ozonation, and biological methods such as bioremediation. Air pollution occurs when harmful substances such as particulate matter, ozone, or nitrogen oxides are released into the air. Some ways to treat the air pollution include reducing emissions from factories and vehicles, using cleaner energy sources such as wind or solar power, and planting trees and other vegetation to absorb pollutants. It's important to note that preventing pollution is the first place is often the most effective way to protect the environment and human health.
Now, you saw all the types of pollutions.
You saw all the types of chemical waste.
Now we will see the treatment and how to make clean those pollution that the industry make. Play that video!
Pollution in manufacturing industry can be air emissions, water pollution, and hazardous waste. Implementing pollution control equipment, recycling and reusing materials, proper disposal of hazardous waste are common treatment methods in the manufacturing industry. For the chemical industry, chemical manufacturing can result in air and water pollution, as well as the release of hazardous chemicals. Employing containment systems, using safer chemical process, and implementing waste management practices, including neutralization and incineration, help mitigate pollution in the chemical industry. In agricultural industry can lead to water contamination from pesticides, fertilizers, and soil erosion. Implementing sustainable farming practices such as precision agriculture, crop rotation, and using organic farming methods can reduce pollution in the agricultural industry. In the mining industry, reclamation and restoration of mined areas, proper waste disposal, and the use of eco-friendly mining practices can help mitigate the pollution in the mining industry because of the soil erosion, water pollution, and the release of heavy metals. In the energy industry, employing advanced filtration and scrubbing technologies to reduce emissions, implementing spill response plans, and investing in cleaner energy sources like renewable energy are common pollution control methods in the energy sector. And for last, waste management industry, because of the emissions from waste incineration, employing modern landfill designs to contain leachate, using waste to energy technologies for incineration, and promoting recycling and waste reduction are common approaches to addressing the pollution in the waste management industry.
I wasn't aware that for making this can, they had to produce a lot of waste.
Andre.
What happened, Pablo?
You were like retarded or something, but are you okay, bud?
Yeah, I learned a lot today.
Oh, really? How interesting. What did you learn?
That this is very harmful for the world.
It is true. But I'm glad you learned in your own way.